Well, well, well. They went and did it, didn't they? They knew exactly how to get us right before New Year's by releasing a young Whitebeard and SCOPPER GABAN and young Rayleigh Legends. So, good move, Bandai. Good move. But what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped, back for another OPTC video. And in today's video, the beginning of Xeno, we kind of got information for the new Legends for the end of the month over on the Twitter. So big shout out to the OPTC Twitter for the information provided. And in today's video, we're going to break down the two new legends being Whitebeard and his crew, but it's just like a Whitebeard legend. And then Rayleigh and Gaban, the dual unit. So very interesting selection of characters. Obviously at the back end of the celebration for New Year's, we are going back to Wano, but back to like the start of where it was. Because we just did get 6+ Roger as well. So these particular characters work very, very nicely with the new Roger, or the 6+ Roger. Well, Rayleigh and Gaban does, I should say. But it's very interesting to see that we got some icon information. We're getting, obviously, a new Shanks and a new Buggy as our rare recruit characters. But we're getting a free-to-play Odin for the point farming event and a 6+ Luffy. Now, leads me to believe, because it's a quick unit, that it could be Final Tap Luffy. Quick Final Tap Luffy could be getting his 6+, and they could be doing some really, really cool stuff with something like Red Rock, or just making the character viable once again. So very, very interesting stuff to come. But in today's video, we're going to talk about the Whitebeard, we're going to talk about the Rayleigh Gaban, and where I think they're going to shine the most, and how the units sort of operate. It's very reminiscent to Law and Kid, in a way. But it's going to be super interesting to see what they do. And in today's video, we're going to break them down. Don't forget to belt the like button for me, hit the big red subscribe button, do all that good stuff. And with that said, let's dive in. Alright, so here he is, Big Daddy Whitebeard and his crew from the Prime. As you can see, it's Edward Newgate from the Fierce Battle of a Great Pirate. His captain ability is Formidable Might, that halves crew's HP at the start of the quest. Boosts the HP by 1.5 for the crew. If your HP is above 50%, he boosts Dex, Striker, and Powerhouse characters' attack by 5 times and deals 250 times his attack in Dex damage to all enemies at the end of the turn. And if the crew's HP is 50% or below the start of attack, boosts Dex, Striker, and Powerhouse character's attack by 5.5 and deals 400 times his attack and Dex damage to all enemies at the end of the turn. So Whitebeard has always been the king of being a low HP captain, and this Whitebeard is no exception to that. 5.5 is absolutely monstrous. 400 times his attack as end of turn damage is great, but without cooldowns in his captain ability, just like Big Mom, he is going to struggle when it comes to stalling. So this unit may find a little bit of issue there, and obviously running like 50% captains, in my opinion, is not the most fun. But if you run 2, you go down to 25%. Add the Moby Dick, should be like 12.5%. And you can easily hang around these low thresholds. And getting a 5.5 times attack boost all the time is very, very powerful. Specialist Onslaught of the Great Pirate reduces all enemies' HP by 20%, which ignores defensive effects and normal attacks only, which is amazing for Super Boss, unless there's Grey Shield. Boost Dex, Striker, Powerhouse, slot effects by 2.75 for 1 turn, and if the crew has a slot effect, boost when the special is launched. Boost Dex, Striker, and Powerhouse attack by 2.5 for 2 turns. Very similar to Kid and Law at the back end of the anniversary celebration. If the crew's HP is 50% or more when the special is launched, reduces damage taken by 70%, and if you are below 50%, you do a 90% damage reduction and further increase the attack and slot effects by 0.25, which also affects his attack and orb boost if used. Now, this is a very, very powerful special, especially with stuff like Verse Yamato in the game. Getting a 1.9 times extra attack boost is absolutely monstrous. And then obviously you can get an orb boost to partner up with Yamato's attack boost, and you can do some really, really cool stuff there. Going through normal attacks only is really, really cool, but the downside I do find to his captain ability is trying to stall with this guy is going to be a massive, massive problem. But he is a super tandem legend as well as a super class, so let's see what he does there. Alright, so his support goes on any of his pirates. Basically, Marco, Jozu, Vista, Rikuyu, Fossa, Teach, Whitey Bay, Kingju, and Atmos. At level 5, he gives the supported character a 2 times attack boost and reduces damage taken by 50% for 1 turn whenever they use their special. So very, very interesting stuff there. His super class is for super strikers. You need so you need any of the following on the crew, being Marco, Jozu, Vista, Whitey Bay, Fossa, Rikuyu, Kingju, Atmos, Marshall D, Teach, Kazuki Odin, Izo, Dogstorm, Cat Viper, all when you're below 30% HP, so very easy to do that if you are running 2 Whitebeards. He deals 500 times his attack in Dex damage to all enemies, extends the crew's orb boost by 2 turns, and then changes striker characters into super strikers. So, not exactly the greatest super class ability, but great for wave clearing, and obviously you don't need the characters on the team to actually get the 30% or below. You can just run 2 Whitebeards, but Stuff like Cat Viper, Dogstorm will have very good Dex characters. Odin has now 2 free-to-play Dex characters. There's lots of options that you can use for this guy. Teach has a Dex unit. There's a lot of powerhouse teachers as well. Obviously, Marco has a lot of very good powerhouse characters, and so does Vista. He's super tandem. You need two of the following at level 5. Marco, Jozu, Vista, Whitey Bay, Fossa, Rakuyu, Blackbeard, Kingju, Atmos, Kazuki, Odin, Izu, Dogstorm, and Cat Viper. He applies an attack boost of 1.75 to Striker and Powerhouse characters, and applies a 1.5 times extra damage on any turn. So as long as you have a Tandem Orb, you can easily get this. However, Whitebeard doesn't produce Tandem Orbs. He has nothing in his kit to get Tandem Orbs. And honestly, the more I read this Whitebeard, the more I dislike this Whitebeard. He's very, very good and is going to work very, very well with Yamato. But I just don't see this guy being like game-breaking or a must-summon by any chance. He does have 2 supports where he makes Striker and Powerhouse characters' deck slots have matching slot effects. And then he gives base stats at 100 as well. Obviously, decks are very, very good in Rumble as well, and there are a lot of good Dex Powerhouse characters, namely like Dalton and Pell, so you will be able to use this guy alongside them. So let's take a look at what he does in Rumble. He targets Powerhouse class teammates for attack up level 6, and then he targets self for attack of 1.5 counter stance for 15 seconds, and after 60 seconds, he targets all enemies for 3 times damage on a 20-second cooldown. So this is very, very good if you're using him on like the bench. The counter stance isn't amazing, but just getting a lot of attack up is quite nice. I don't know how viable this is going to be, but like Dex Powerhouse are going to go absolutely brazy. Very nice special, and obviously very, very powerful when you do partner him up with stuff like Pell and Dalton. As an ability, he's going to boost Powerhouse class teammates HP up level 6, attack up level 6, and for the first 30 seconds, he gives himself defense level 4. So you can do some really cool stuff with obviously Luffy, like with Blackbeard. You can use Neko and Inu on his team as well. And then obviously Dalton and Pell will work very, very nicely as well. So whilst I don't think Newgate is a bad character, I just don't think he's like a crazy game-breaking character. I don't think he's just like anything too flash, too hot. His Super Tandem is kind of like interesting, but not like game-breaking at all, because like the 1.5 doesn't go through like full immunity or anything like that. And the 1.75 is actually quite low compared to some of the other Super Tandems that we have. But it is interesting to see that we get a young Newgate in the game that is not a Super Sugo. So that is also something to note, and a very, very interesting concept as well. Alright, so huge shout out to Bandai for the infographic and the artwork and all that good stuff. As always, if you guys want to check it out, I'll leave a link in the description below. You guys can go watch this for yourself. This is on the Japan Twitter. That was his special animation, his ink effect, all of the good stuff. This is basically all his information there. Japan tend to get a little bit of a video on how the character operates as well, so you can get a little bit of better understanding of how the character rocks. As you can see there, getting the orb boost with the plus buff because you are such a low HP. Then you can use stuff like Yamato, and you can use the other Whitebeard to get the plus buff there as well. You get the 20% HP cut through normal attacks only. And as you guys can see here, you have a lot of very good units with like Rare Recruit Jozu. You have the new Odin that is going to release with the point farming event. You also have that Lauren Kid, who's also a fantastic free-to-play character from the Blitz. Well, was he from the Blitz? I think he was, but it is what it is. Unfortunately as well, no Super Tandem animation as well. Bit of an L there, if I'm completely honest. But like I said, that 90% damage reduction is going to be so key when you are using something like Verse Yamato. Alright, so alongside Whitebeard, we are getting a Rayleigh and Gaban, and this is the one that I was a little bit more excited for, as I'm a big Gaban fan and a really big Rayleigh fan, so I'm super, super keen to see what this guy does. I have read through the information, but I'm really, really keen to see what he does in-game. Captain ability. Rayleigh and Gaban, the assaulting duo. Captain ability is the sword and axe combination. Reduces crew's special charge time by 2 turns at the start of the quest. Reduces crew's HP by 1.2 times. Boosts attack by approximately 5.25 when slots match. 4.75 times otherwise, and makes sight and dex slots have matching slot effects. Reduces crew attack down by 10 turns. And heals crew by 1 times recovery at the end of every turn whenever you hit a perfect. So this is their dual captain, obviously. So it's not... It stands subject to note what their actual single form captains are, but if they do go along the lines of something like Ace Yamato, this character could be insanely broken. If it does get separated, I feel like Rayleigh, because he's the Psi unit, Gaban is the Dex unit, Gaban is going to make the Dex orbs matching, Rayleigh makes the Psi orbs matching, One of them will give the healing, probably Rayleigh, and then maybe Gaban will give the attack down removal. They'll both do the 2 turns of cooldown at the start of the quest, and then maybe those multipliers are a little bit lower, maybe 5 times with the matching orb, 4.5 times otherwise. We'll have to wait and see once we get full information, but needless to say, as a dual unit, they do have a fairly strong captain ability. Utility is always good to see. Reducing cooldowns is absolutely amazing. Nice tankiness with healing, and matching orbs is very, very good because it works well with what they actually try and do. Their special is Unstoppable Onslaught, reduces crew special bind by 7 turns, and then boosts crew slot effects by 1 turn based on the total damage dealt with normal attacks before the specials launch. Exactly the same as Roger. 2.5 for 0 damage, 2.75 for 3 million, and if you do 10 million or more, you get a 3 times Rainbow Orb boost. They then add 0.25 to the attack boost, and then becomes Rayleigh and Gaban. So they only get the 0.25 if they're a crewmate. So the idea here is they wanted you to really use that alongside Roger and his 6+. But giving the orb buff alongside Roger's attack buff means you can actually do some very, very crazy things with the new 6+ Roger and this particular dual unit. So before we dive into their switchability and stuff like that, take a look at Rayleigh and Gaban. They're a cerebral character, and they're a Psi unit, which means local sea monster is going to finally have a very good unit that can actually help it out. However, it's not a super class, it's not a super type, and still Bandai tries to make local sea monster some of the hardest content in the game by not giving us Psi, cerebral, super class, or super type units. It's very frustrating. Don't give me the Sengoku shenanigans in the comments. But this unit should help out quite a lot. They do have fear, they have hunger, they have pinch healing, and they are a free spirit cerebral character. And from what I've seen, they're a free spirit cerebral in both of their forms. Alright, so using this guy as a crewmate under Roger is actually super viable. And as you guys know, dual units don't make the best captains. So this is going to be a very, very interesting sailor. Reduces crew's paralysis by 1 turn as a sailor, and also gives you 1 turn of cooldown at the start of the quest. Amazing, amazing sailor abilities, very, very handy for utility as well as speed farming as well. Now, they are a dual unit, so they do have a switch ability. Their switch completely removes character special blinds, reduces crew's bind and paralysis by 1 turn, and then gives the crew a 1.3 times attack boost that can be overwritten with other attack boosting effects. If you get their super switch, which goes down to 4 switches, completely removes special bind on themselves, reduces bind and paralysis by 4 turns on the entire crew, and gives a 1.3 times attack boost that can be overwritten by other attack boosting effects. They also give you a plus 1.2 chain multiplier for 1 turn. So this should be a chain boost, so a 1.2 chain boost for 1 turn when you get their super switch. Great utility, great damage output. You can use Roger after them to get the 3 times attack boost, or 3.2, and then you have some very, very good sailor effects as well. Moving over to Rumble now. They are built for the Free Spirit team. If you guys have a look over here at their Rumble special, they target enemies within a large range for 2.5 times damage, and then targets Free Spirit class teammates for attack up level 6, speed up level 6, and defense up level 5. Really, really crazy what they do there, which works amazingly with Roger and his nerfing capabilities as well. Going down to the ability, they boost Free Spirit's teammates' HP up level 6, attack up level 6, and when the team is 8 teammates, gives CT speed up level 2. So if you can build out a Free Spirit team that is 8-man, this is going to work very, very nicely. And hopefully the Buggy and the Shanks will actually help us out there a little bit as well. So whilst I do really like Rayleigh and Gaban a lot more, they have great utility, they have the great switchability, they're going to be amazing for local sea monster, and they're going to work really, really well with Roger. I do kind of like that these units aren't like insanely broken or game breaking in the greatest regards. But if I had to pick one of the two to go for, I do think the Rayleigh and Gaban is going to be the better unit moving forward. Whitebeard probably has the better Rumble equipped, but I don't think both of them have the craziest Rumble equipped anyway. But for taking a local sea monster, this guy is a really nice addition. He's going to remove the special bind. He's going to remove the paralysis. He's going to help with stuff like the bind, the attack down. He gives an orb boost. He's going to do a lot for the team, and hopefully this opens the doorway to a lot of other options for that particular piece of content. So it kind of seems like there's 2 islands for this, either point farming event or for the trial. I just love when Rayleigh's just like, no, not today, son, and just blocks Marco. It's so freaking good. But that special animation, I love it. It's part of the great battle between Roger and Whitebeard, as you guys know. And as you guys will see here, we have the Shanks and the Buggy on this particular team. It seems that the Shanks and the Buggy, they're both Free Spirit characters. are going to be built around Roger as well as the SCOPPER and Gaban, as well as the Rayleigh unit. As you guys saw there, when you switched, they stayed Free Spirit Cerebral, so unfortunately they won't really work for the Axe Hand Morgan, but putting them on a Roger team and using Odin in the new batch, it's going to work very, very nicely. It's a a Sai-centric kind of batch, and it's pretty cool to see what they do. As for what the Shanks Buggy and the Odin do, we'll touch on that in a later video, but I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, hit the big red subscribe button. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on the Rayleigh, Gaban, and the Whitebeard in the comment section below. Are you summoning? Are you not summoning? We'll touch on the banner, but we will be summoning when the banner goes live, so make sure to come check out the stream. Hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of the fun. Like I said, though, thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Late!